Good evening, listeners. Welcome to Amogate Radio Communications and episode 4 of our transformative series, Equipping the Next Generation for Impact and Excellence. I'm your host, Adeola Gbadebo, and it's a pleasure to journey with you as we explore practical strategies for personal growth and impactful living. Last week, we discussed the topic Unleashing Your Potential, understanding your unique gifts. So I want to ask, have you taken the time to reflect on your unique abilities? Have you started identifying some of the gifts you possess? Some of those things that make you think? Some of those things that will give you your competitive advantage? If you haven't, take some time today to create a list of your gifts. Identify the ones you've maximized and those still waiting to be developed. The sooner you start working on these gifts, the sooner you'll begin to impact the world in incredible ways. Today's topic focuses on a vital skill that will help you navigate relationships, manage challenges, and achieve your goals. The title of today's topic is Developing Emotional Intelligence for Success. Developing Emotional Intelligence for Success. Now, grab your notebook again because this episode promises to be eye-opening and deeply impactful. What is emotional intelligence? EI. It looks like one of the buzzwords these days. What does it mean? So, emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your emotions as well as the emotions of others. It involves self-awareness, empathy, social skills, self-regulation, and motivation. Now you want to ask the question, why develop emotional intelligence? Why? Now developing emotional intelligence is critical for the youth because it enhances interpersonal relationships, builds resilience in the face of adversity, it improves communication skills, ensures that you are not ambiguous, people are able to understand you clearly. It increases self-confidence and self-control. So here are 10 things that emotional intelligence will help you achieve. 1. Stronger relationships. Emotional intelligence helps you build trust and maintain healthy connections. It helps you build trust and maintain healthy connections. 2. Better leadership skills. It enables you to inspire and lead effectively. 3. Conflict resolution. High emotional intelligence allows you to handle disputes calmly and constructively. 4. Improved teamwork. You'll be able to collaborate better by understanding and valuing diverse perspectives. You'll be able to collaborate better by understanding and valuing diverse perspectives. You know, there are some people that they are unable to work very well in a team because they easily misunderstand people. And the reason why they misunderstand people easily is because they don't listen well enough. They're poor listeners. And I've said it once in one of the series that in Nigeria, listening is a skill that we're not taught from school. The English language has 4 parts, but in Nigeria we treat only 2 parts. And the 2 parts we treat in Nigeria is reading and writing. However, the other 2 parts are speaking and listening. So listening is a skill, and emotional intelligence helps you to be a better listener, and that's why you can become a better team member. Number 5, effective stress management. So EI equips you to stay composed in stressful situations. You'll be calm. You would understand you are trying to break down the situation into its component parts, and taking them out one by one. You're trying to differentiate, to take the issues away from the person, to differentiate the issues from the person and all. So it helps with emotional intelligence and with effective stress management, career advancement. Now, employers value emotional intelligence individuals. Why? They can drive their team to achieve better things. It helps them with leadership skills. So, of course, those emotional intelligence individuals are valued for their ability to lead and manage. They are very good leaders, very good managers because of their high emotional quotient. So it helps them in their career. Increased empathy. Understanding others' emotions fosters compassion and better communication. Understanding other people's emotions fosters compassion and better communication. So, number 8, greater self awareness. You will better understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and you will know your triggers. So, when you know your strengths, you explore the area of your strengths. When you know your weaknesses, you work in the area of your weaknesses. When you know your triggers, you avoid them. Those things that trigger you, you avoid. Your weaknesses, you work on them. Your strengths, you explore. Number 9, better decision making. Emotional intelligence enables you to make balanced, well-informed decisions. Your decisions will not be one-sided. You are asking different people for their opinion, and you are able to bring those opinions together, everything together to form a decision. You are not only getting opinions, you are also putting facts and figures together. You are reading data, using the use of data. So it helps with decision making. Number 10, personal fulfillment. Emotional intelligence fosters a sense of purpose and well-being. If you are an emotionally intelligent person, you would find out that you feel fulfilled because you have no major quarrels with people. You are easily acceptable. You'll be able to achieve a lot of things together with your team. If you lead any unit, any department, or any organization, you'll be able to move them forward. People are able to cooperate with you because you are one person who collaborates easily. So it fosters a sense of purpose and well-being. You feel personally fulfilled. Now, if you lack emotional intelligence, let me talk about 10 things that will also happen. 1, there will be difficulty in maintaining relationships. You keep having issues with people. Everyone is bad to you. You have issues with everybody. So, and if you are the only one having issues with everybody, then it means that you are the one who should look at yourself. If something is wrong with you, there's something you need to correct. Poor conflict management skills. Of course, you are one whose emotions fly off the anger. How do you manage conflicts? You cannot manage conflicts because you also you have poor self-management skills. Number 3, frequent misunderstandings in communication, of course. So, because you are unable to control your emotions, you are likely to become ambiguous. People will misunderstand you because sometimes what they are hearing is different from your tone. Your tone is different from what you seem to be saying. So they are hearing something else. Oh, of course, number 4, you have high levels of stress and anxiety. That's a given. If you lack emotional intelligence, everything around you will be scattered. You will be stressed. You will be really stressed, and there'll be a lot of anxiety. Number 5, lack of empathy towards others. Because you have not taken time to understand the emotions of other people. You are unable to understand the reasons why they are behaved in a certain way. You are unable to empathize with them. You can't empathize with them because you failed to understand them. You have failed to reason, to look at things from their own perspective. Number 6, poor leadership abilities. Poor leadership abilities. An emotionally unintelligent leader will abuse his power. If your emotional intelligence is poor and you are a leader, you will not only abuse your power, you will insult the people that you are leading, and many people will be unwilling to follow you. Number 7, difficulty in accepting constructive criticism. This is something we all must look at ourselves. If you find out that once someone says something against you and you get angry, you are unable to take corrections, you have a difficulty in accepting those criticisms, it means you are emotionally unintelligent. Your emotional intelligence is still low. Your emotional quotient needs to improve. It needs to increase. You need to work on yourself to increase your emotional intelligence in that area. There are people who you know, they're not criticizing you because they don't like you. They're not criticizing you because they're in competition with you. They're not criticizing you because they're trying to pull you down. They will only criticize you because they know you're wrong. And they're the only ones who can tell you that you are wrong. Number 8, impulsive and emotionally driven decisions. So instead of taking informed decisions, you're going to take decisions based on your emotions. So today, when you're happy, you are taking one side of decisions. The same situation today, but another time. But because you are not happy, you are taking a different decision. You are an unstable person. Your decision-making process is unstable, is undefined. It will be haphazard. It now depends on your mood. There are a lot of people like that. And suppose you're a teacher or you're a lecturer, your mood will also determine how you score your students or your pupils. Why? Because when you are marking some scripts, when you are happy, you can even help people correct, you overlook little mistakes. But when suddenly your anger comes up and you now take the scripts to mark also, you will discover that your anger is taking over. The little mistakes that the students are making will infuriate you. You will be angry and you will mark them down. And the same scripts, the same set, the same examination. Now you have allowed your mood and your emotion to drive your decisions. Number 9, whoever is low in emotional intelligence will struggle with teamwork and collaboration. Who wants to work with a nasty person? Who wants to collaborate with a nasty person? Everybody sees you as someone who is touchy, and they're trying to be careful. They're working on eggshells around you. These are things that will not allow people to easily accept to work with you in a team. Number 10, missed career and personal growth opportunities. Definitely, you can't grow your career. There's no way you can grow your career if you are someone with a low emotional intelligence. If your emotional quotient is low, how do you drive? How do you take initiatives? If it's low and you struggle and you are making impulsive and emotionally driven decisions, even on the state, who will take you to a more higher position where you will now be able to take more critical decisions that may affect the organization. No one wants to. You are too much of a risk to be promoted. So they'll leave you in your positions. If you are still with us, we're still talking about equipping the next generation for impact and excellence on Amogate Radio Communications. And today, we're talking about we're on the topic emotional intelligence for success. Developing emotional intelligence for success. And we've been discussing on, we've defined what emotional intelligence is, which is managing your emotion and also managing other people's emotion. And we've spoken about why it is important. Enhances interpersonal skills, build resilience in the face of adversity, improves communication skills, increases self-confidence. We've spoken about 10 things that will help you if you if you have high emotional intelligence. I'm also talking about 10 things that emotional intelligence, the lack of emotional intelligence will take away from you. That's it. So I have here about 3 books that I personally recommend that you buy and you can read to help you in the process of growing your emotional intelligence. Number 1 is emotional intelligence, why it can matter more than IQ. Emotional intelligence, why it can matter more than IQ. This book is authored by Daniel Goleman. Number 2, Emotional Agility by Susan David. Emotional Agility by Susan David. The third book is The EQ Difference. The EQ Difference, a powerful plan for putting emotional intelligence to work. A powerful plan for putting emotional intelligence to work. And this is by Adele B. Adele Lean. So let's look at various applications of emotional intelligence in some key areas. So let's look at in the key area of leadership. Effective leaders leverage emotional intelligence to inspire their team. It also helps them to foster collaboration and drive success. To be a successful team, because the leader is someone who is high on the EQ quotient, EQ scale. Now, in human resources, emotional intelligence helps HR professionals handle employee relations. You are the HR. You be a good listener. You listen to people's issues, and you're trying to help them to handle some of their some of their issues. You mediate conflicts and boost workplace morale. In project management, so emotional intelligence ensures clear communication, strong teamwork, and conflict resolution in project execution. There are other fields where emotional intelligence is key because emotional intelligence is critical across various fields, enhancing performance and effectiveness. So let's look at healthcare. So medical professionals use emotional intelligence to empathize with patients, handle stressful situations, and foster collaborations among healthcare teams. So you can walk into a doctor's office and afraid, having a lot of, issues that you want to explain to the doctor. Firstly, doctors are trained to listen to you. They will listen. As they are listening, they are taking notes. They're trying to identify, the things that could cause, the kind of issues that you are going through. And they're trying to isolate based on what you're saying and all that. Someone with low emotional intelligence would not be able to do that effectively. After that, then they begin to speak with you. They ask you questions. They want to help you. They tell you things that can reduce your stress level. They try to douse your tension and take it down. And they're concerned about your well-being because they can empathize with you. Education. Teachers leverage emotional intelligence to manage classroom, understand students' needs, and create a positive learning environment. If a teacher is low on emotional intelligence, he will be partial in the classroom. It is natural for you to like the brilliant, exceptionally brilliant and sharp students in the classroom. I'm not saying that the others are dull, but they are introverts. It is easier to like a student that answers your questions. Those are the students that make you feel that you're doing your job well. Before, without much ado, they already have a grasp of it. And if they're extroverts, you will find out that when they commit some offenses, you probably overlook. But those students that look like they are not, I call them processing learners who process their information far longer than may be required. Now, you think that these are the dullards in the classroom, and if that person makes a mistake, you will be hard on that person because you are low on emotional intelligence. As a teacher, you're supposed to manage a classroom, understand the students, their needs, and to create a positive learning environment where every child can thrive. Whether he's an introvert or an extrovert, everybody can thrive. So a customer service also helps service representatives build rapport, resolve conflicts, and deliver exceptional customer experience. Customer service people have to be emotionally intelligent, really, really intelligent, because the customer at the other end of the call may be talking about something that is very painful to him or her, and as they are relating it, sometimes they are also insulting the customer service person, and some of them may be cursing and all that. If you are a short-tempered person also, you can respond as, Woni, what's happening? Keep quiet. Is it because we are calling you? Tell us what the issue is. We're trying to resolve it for you. And that would be a lack of emotional intelligence. So in customer service, we need people who are highly emotionally intelligent. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs with high emotional intelligence are better equipped to manage teams, to build networks, and to navigate challenges. See, if you are low on emotional intelligence, you will not achieve a lot. You will be stuck. You start, you get to a place, you will be stuck. Why? You need people to help you, to the next level. You need networks. But because if you lack emotional intelligence, your social interaction is going to be very poor. So you will not be able to interact with people well. You will not be able to manage your teams very well. It becomes difficult for you to navigate challenges. Creative industries. Now, artists, writers, and designers use emotional intelligence to express emotions authentically and connect with the audience. So you have people who are singing, maybe they're singing a song, and you can see the audience, all emotional and crying, and all the people with high emotional intelligence know how to communicate their feelings through their artistic display. In technology and engineering, emotional intelligence facilitates effective teamwork and leadership in highly technical fields. When they say highly technical, it means that it's a field that is not only highly technical, but has the capacity to stress people out. So you need someone who understands, who is an effective team leader, one with high emotional intelligence to be able to create a very good working environment within that. Sports, athletes and coaches use emotional intelligence to maintain focus, inspire teamwork, and manage pressure during high stakes competition. Law enforcement. Aha. So officers with high emotional intelligence can de-escalate conflicts and build trust within communities. Let me give us an example. During the NSAS protest of 2020, October 2020, the whole city was agog. There was a lot of riots, broke out in different places and different areas. There were some officers of the Nigerian police. In another area, some military officers of the Nigerian army were speaking to the people. They de-escalated what was happening there. It was a beautiful moment where you would see emotional intelligence right in the field, between law enforcement and angry rioters. It was a beautiful scene. I saw some of those videos, and I could commend. I commended a lot of those officers. One of the officers who is enjoying a lot of emotion, who has whose emotional intelligence is very high, and he's been enjoying a lot of career, advancement in the Nigerian police. He's the current commissioner of police for the FCT, Commissioner Tsuji Disu. Is when he was in charge of the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos, that was when they got the nickname the Good Boys. They were so fantastic. Then you could see leadership rubbing off on the followership. When you saw officers, policemen, Nigerian policemen can be driving along the road and see that you have an issue with your tires and park their vehicles to help you, not only to provide light or security, but to actually help you in changing those tires. I saw some of those things. I saw them help, push a vehicle whose fuel got exhausted. They helped him push it into an area where it was off the road, took him with their vehicle, took their own keg, and helped him to get fuel to be able to take him to the fuel station. I saw it. Some of those things is high emotional intelligence. So it helps to de-escalate conflicts and build trust within communities. Non-profit and community work. Emotional intelligence helps non-profit leaders to empathize with beneficiaries, to build partnerships and advocate effectively. Advocate effectively. Wow. I'm looking at the time that I have with me, and I think I may have to break this episode into two and continue from there. The next During the next episode, I will only take this part, and then I will close here to say emotional intelligence. Trying to look plays a pivotal role in politics and diplomacy, where managing relationships and emotions is crucial for peace, collaboration, and effective governance. Now, there are leaders who lack emotional intelligence. They often face challenges such as strained relations, ineffective negotiations, and poor decision making. Let me give you two examples of such people, two situations of such people. Now, the diplomatic breakdown during the Cold War era, where several instances during the Cold War saw leaders failing to manage relations due to lack of empathy and mutual understanding, leading to prolonged tensions between nations. What about Adolf Hitler? His inability to consider the emotional and cultural diversity of the population, he sought to control, led to devastating global consequences. You can imagine. You can imagine. Recently, there have been a lot of political tensions. Some leaders to exacerbate divisions due to impulsive decisions, inability to handle criticism, and lack of empathy. This affects national unity and international relations. But let me give two examples of people who were successful because of their high emotional intelligence. One of them is the late Nelson Mandela. Mandela's ability to empathize with his adversaries and manage emotions helped South Africa transform from apartheid to a democratic society peacefully. What about Angela Merkel, the former chancellor of Germany? Merkel's calm demeanor and ability to empathize with European Union leaders allowed her to mediate and maintain stability within the European Union. Thank you for joining us today on Namogate Video Communications. This is where I have to stop for today. I'll continue with the other parts with emotional intelligence, developing emotional intelligence for success, part 2 will come your way same time next week. Remember that developing emotional intelligence is not just an option, it is a necessity for success in today's world. Start cultivating it today, and you will see incredible transformations in your relationship, your career, and personal growth. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. As always, questions and feedback, send them to our email contact@theamogate.org, or you can reach out to us. Okay, let me take that again. contact@theamogate.org. Or you can reach us on our WhatsApp number +234-810-999-6666. I'll take that again. +234-810-999-6666. Follow us on our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, and on LinkedIn, all at Amogate, for updates and more inspirational content. Join us next Monday at 5 p.m. West African time and 11 a.m. Eastern time. This is the time that this program runs. So for the second part of developing emotional intelligence for success, join us next week Monday, 5 p.m. West African time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, I want you to remember these quotes. It is very important to understand that emotional intelligence is not the opposite of intelligence. It is not the triumph of heart over head. It is the unique intersection of both. This is by David Caruso. When awareness is brought to an emotion, power is brought to your life. When awareness is brought to an emotion, power is brought to your life. Once again, this is Adeola Gbadebo, and I'm saying stay inspired, keep growing, enjoy the rest of your day. See you next episode.